I would like to call to order the Tuesday, February 8th, 2022 meeting of the Columbia Heights Public Schools Board of Education. If you could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mary, roll call.
Lewis.
Here.
Palmer.
Here.
Zymet.
Here.
Granlund. Here. Mueller.
Here.
Severson. And Superintendent Stenbeck.
Here. Okay, thank you. Our mission is creating worlds of opportunity for each and every learner. All belong, all succeed. Our core values are community, excellence, collaboration, integrity, respect, courage, and innovation. We are very excited to start our meeting tonight with Highlander highlights. We will be able to honor Caitlin Crothers for receiving first place in the Art Educators of Minnesota Youth Art Month flag design, and for her artwork being picked by Senator Kunish for display in the state capitol. And we have Arian Kokish. Are you able to come and say a few words as well?
So Caitlin this fall participated in 2 different shows that were work that was sent out. And the first one is one that we do annually. So it's part of the Art Educators of Minnesota state work. And they choose at each level, there's a poster design, a flag design, and a postcard. And hers will be featured on the poster for this year's Youth Art Month show for the state of Minnesota. And that's the Art Connects Us was the theme that she worked from. And then she kind of got a bonus right after we got this one. We had a project that we sent out for 5th graders as it was a new thing that they're doing this year with the state. Each senator across the state gets to choose one piece of art to represent their district in the Senate building for the year. And so her art, the second piece that's there, is a painting she did of the Central Avenue Bridge. And she did it on her own time, as she is always a super motivated, and she's just kind of a go-getter of a kid in everything that she does. So I was really proud that extra time and effort she put in outside of school to participate in that came back and received an award and has her work there in a space. So she will get to go and meet Senator Kunish at the Senate building and see her work on display there as well. So exciting stuff. And yeah, just a really excellent all-around student, but a really great artist and really motivated to always go that extra mile. So very proud that she was able to receive these.
That's excellent. And I believe that Caitlin is joining us via Zoom. Caitlin, are you? Oh, will you just give us 1 second? We are seeing your lovely art, but not seeing the Zoom portion. Perfect. Hi, Caitlin. Congratulations from the board for receiving first place in the Art Educators of Minnesota Youth Art Month flag contest, as well as having your art on display in the Capitol. Anything that you would like to share with us about this experience? No? And that's totally fine. We completely respect that. We're just so proud of you. Members of the board, any conversations that you would like to have?
We're going to try and unmute you, I think.
No, I'm just going to do this.
Hey.
There we go.
If you would like, you can move your camera down so we can see your face. If not, you're totally fine. Oh, there you go. Great, perfect. All right. Well, congratulations again, members of the board. Any conversations or questions or thoughts?
That was beautiful artwork. You did such a good job. We're so proud of you. Go North Park. Way to go.
Congratulations. I just wanted to say that had I not known Miss Kokish was your teacher and you were in elementary school, I would have guessed that you were much older looking at that artwork. So congratulations, really exciting, and it's great to see you here tonight. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you have an amazing eye, and you are incredibly talented, and we are so proud. Thank you so much for your work and your passion, and you make us all very, very proud. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, and thank you to Ms. Kokish as well for your leadership and direction and teaching for our students and giving them this opportunity.
It's a pleasure.
I just want to add to that. I know you as a teacher are so passionate, and I am so thankful that students like this get to have that opportunity to be in your classroom and be influenced by art, and it helps them in so many areas. So thank you.
Thank you.
And Caitlin, we do have a certificate for you, so we will get this to you so that you can keep this in your scrapbook. Congratulations again. Great. Yep. And feel free, if you haven't already, you can sign off, Caitlin. You do not have to stay for the rest of the meeting, although you're welcome to. Great. Moving on, we'll move on to agenda approval, adjustments, announcements, and correspondence. Starting with the approval of agenda. Can we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Laura?
Second.
Mary? Motion by Laura and seconded by Mary. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we will vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Next, we have our announcements. On February 15th, Tuesday at 5:30 p.m., there is a special called school board meeting. Tuesday 15th at 5:31. Directly after, there is a school board work session. Tuesday, February 15th at 7 p.m., the school board subcommittee on community engagement will be meeting in the community room. On February 21st, there is no school. February 22nd, Tuesday at 7 p.m. is the regular school board meeting in the community room. March 8th, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Will be the school board subcommittee on policy here in the community room. And March 8th, Tuesday, 7 p.m., regular school board meeting in the community room. Next is correspondence. Superintendent Stemick, is there any correspondence?
Vice Chair Mueller, there's no correspondence at this time.
Great, thank you. Next, we have the citizens and employee representatives communication to the board. At this time, any citizen or employee may briefly address the school board. The board will listen to brief remarks, ask for clarifying questions, and if desired, request that the administration follow up. The board will not take action at this meeting on requests presented at this time. Any communication? Okay, we will move on to the consent agenda, which includes the personnel report, lane changes, and school board minutes for January 11th and 25th regular school board meetings, January 18th school board work session, and the January 4th organizational meeting. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Molly?
You have to.
Second.
At the discussion. And Laura? Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? And I, at this time, would ask to remove the personnel report from the consent agenda to be considered separately. Do we vote on that do we vote on that to remove the remove the personnel report? Yes, okay. We get a motion to approve removing the personnel report from the consent agenda. Mary?
And I'll second.
And Laura. Thank you. And any discussion on removing that? We will vote on that separately, and there'll be further discussion on that too. All right, hearing none, all in favor of removing the personnel report from the consent agenda? Aye. Opposed? And that passes. So next we have the motion that was by Molly and seconded by Laura to approve the consent agenda.
Motion by Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
And seconded by Laura to approve the consent agenda. Great, thank you. All in favor of approving the consent agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion carries. So next, we will then proceed with the personnel report, which that personnel report, I gotta look at my notes, because everybody, that makes this so difficult today. So we need a motion to approve the personnel report, which needs to be amended. So we have to amend the personnel report.
No, you just have to say the line you're going to cancel out.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the personnel report Amended to remove the line pertaining to Jill Passage. So the personnel report will be amended to remove the line pertaining to Jill Passage. And so we will need a motion to approve the personnel report as amended.
So moved.
Brenna? Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, sorry, Molly, thank you. So it's been moved by Brenna and seconded by Molly to approve the personnel report as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. Thank you, and thank you for your patience as we worked through that tonight. Next, we have discussion, reports, and information items. And start with reports from members of the board. And we'll start with Molly.
You would do that. So as usual, I've attended several basketball games, boys and girls. I also had a phone appointment with Superintendent Stenvik and a phone conversation with Member Mueller, Vice Chair Mueller. Also have had several conversations with community members, and I believe that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Laura?
Okay, I have a fairly extensive report. Sorry about that. We're getting a little bit of... Okay, I attended numerous 916 meetings, both as a district as well as with the 916 Foundation. So pencil in the date of April 7th, that is the gala that 916 Foundation will be sponsoring. It'll be at 7 Vines, and it's on a Thursday. It's like 5 to 7:30, 5 to 8 o'clock in the evening. So that should be really a great event. It's not going to be quite as expensive as in the past, so it'll be a lot more accessible. The 916 Foundation is a partnership with 916, and they help to fund additional programs, student activities, special equipment, and they're just a great resource for the staff and the students and the community. And they're looking at being able to increase their sponsorship so that they do scholarships too. Which is fantastic, and our students have received scholarships through 916 in the past. The other thing too is directly with 916 is there was an announcement at the last meeting that our ALC program that we participate in over at Metro Heights Academy, there is actually now an early middle college program that's available to our ALC students. And quite a few of our Columbia Heights students have enrolled in that program as, being able to participate in the ALC, but also be able to get college credit while they're working in that program is a great benefit. These are really students that can be able to receive that higher education and don't maybe work, traditional school isn't really the best for them. So that is really exciting as well. And in addition to that, they're actually, they also have a Grow Your Own program also over at 916 for developing teachers, special education teachers. And there's an additional benefit right now where they're actually going to have another program where they're the special ed teachers that are going to be more the type of teachers we're looking at in traditional schools for special ed, that they'll be able to get their certificates also through this program. And if you're a member of 916 and at this point, if they have a master's degree, they can actually enroll in this program and be able to continue to work while earning their degree, which is a fantastic benefit. And we really need more qualified staff available so to help our students. So I think there's a bunch of other stuff, but I think I'll put that off for another time. Those are really the highlights. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, Laura. Brenna?
I was able to attend the 1X competition for our students that went to regionals with their 1X and did a fantastic job. So that was really neat to watch them succeed at that. I was able to attend a portion of the city council meeting yesterday over Zoom, and attended the meeting right before this with the joint city council. So, yeah.
Thank you. Mary?
I was unfortunately unable to attend the robotics tournament. I think it was the state semifinals. But just shout out to the scholars, volunteers, and staff that worked really hard to support that activity. Our students did just an amazing job. And it was a lot of work, and I know that they worked really hard together, and, you know, it was amazing to see that, and I was very sad that I didn't get a chance to see the end of it, but, I also attended the city council work session last night, and the joint city council school board session just before this one. And last week I was able to meet with Representative Ilhan Omar, and we were able to discuss the issue of funding around school lunches and continuing support for that. And then I was able to speak with Superintendent Stenvik right before this, and, you know, check in with families and scholars and staff about, you know, how they're feeling. It seems like people are feeling a little bit more hopeful than last time I was able to check in with people, so.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I'll keep my update brief. I did attend a chair meeting earlier this evening, as well as the joint school board and city council meeting, which Member Lewis and Member Palmer were also at. All of us here at the table were, and had conversation with Member Lewis as well. So, Superintendent Stenvik, do you have a report?
Yes, I have a brief report. As Member Granlund said, you know, we're actually able to focus on something other than COVID right now. You know, it's still omnipresent with us, but I've been partnering with Executive Director Niembwe and really focusing on getting out into the schools, and then debriefing with the principals. So it's just truly amazing to see our buildings fully operational, and the business of school happening. You know, we are at that midway point in the school year, and you know, folks have been, it's just been a challenging year, and our students and staff are really thriving right now, even despite everything they've gone through. So it's just having the opportunity to get out and pretty much every day over the last couple of weeks out and about. So that has been fantastic. In addition to that, I've had conversations with multiple board members, and I thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the American Indian Education Parent Committee Concurrence. We have a presentation from, we have Superintendent Stenvik as well as Val Larson, our American Indian Education Mentor, and Laura Newton, Parent Co-Chair. I believe Val and Laura are joining via Zoom.
Yes. Okay. I'll start off and then pass it over to our incredible American Indian Parent Advisory Committee staff and parents. We really do have an exceptional, we call it an APAC, our American Indian Parent Advisory Committee. This committee is made up of dedicated community members, parents, and staff. So this evening, focusing on our mission, Columbia Heights Public Schools, creating worlds of opportunity for each and every learner, all belong, all succeed, with the core values of community and respect is our focus of this presentation. So this evening, the governance really lies with the American Indian Committee, not necessarily with the board. However, we will be seeking school board signatures. But this is how American Indian education works. So on January 26th, Valerie Larson met with the committee, and so we're here to provide the board with the information today, and so there's technically no board governance. The American Indian Parent Committee and American Indian Education falls under Minnesota Statute 124D.78. So you can see here, We are required to have an American Indian Parent Advisory Committee, and really the idea is that the parents, the American Indian parents, really have a say in our American Indian education program. So we collaborate with them, and we are required to meet, I think it's quarterly, but this committee meets every single month. So the work of the PAC is to review data, so they get to see the American Indian summary data and educational academic performance and all of those pieces. Informs the district program and goals, and make recommendations to the district and the school board, and then vote annually on concurrence. So with that, we'll turn it over to Ms. Val Larson and one of our co-chairs, Laura Newton.
Good evening. This is Valerie Larson. As you can see, some of the pictures here show some of the stuff that we've been doing. And if you look at the beautiful colored, I'm trying to remember what those are called. Anyway, you can see some of the stuff that we do. We're currently working with the Columbia Academy on Encore. Our students in Encore are learning how to do beadwork. They're making keychains, so it's hard for them because they're, you have to thread the needle and keep everything straight. So it's really fun. I love working with the Encore group that meets on Wednesdays. And then I guess the other thing I just want to highlight is that we're working on trying to find some more family activities. This photo here on the right, in the lower right, depicts Maple Sugar Camp, and we are hoping to be able to participate in Maple Sugar Camp again this year. That usually happens in the end of February or early March, depending on the weather. I think this was we've just done a lot of things, had a lot of opportunities to learn about pipestone and how they quarry it, and the kids actually got to touch some pipestone. This is depicting our powwow here, and one of our middle school students in his full regalia. These two young ladies that you see in the second picture here are co-chairs of our student co-chairs of the American Indian Parent Advisory Committee. So just know that we also hear from the students and are able to incorporate some of the things that they want to do in our meetings. Laura?
Yes. Bonjour, everyone. Thanks for having us here tonight. I'm the co-chair of our APAC committee, and so I've since my daughter has started in Columbia Heights Schools, I've been part of the group. I think, I guess just a little bit that I would like to tell you is that it's a wonderful group, a very active group. We meet monthly. The advisory committee, but then there's a lot of families that, outside of the advisory can just participate in the family activities. Like Val said, maple sugaring time is coming up. So I know we have plans to go out to Sugar Bush, and lots of folks are looking forward to that. That's always fun. And it's really great for the kids to get to hands-on do the learning. Our group did vote for concurrence. I don't know if we have to go to the next slide for that. A resolution of concurrence. And so the advisory council did vote concurrence, which means that we agreed with the contents of the implementation of our Indian education program plan, and commit to evaluating the plan at the end of the school year to ensure that it continues to meet the needs of our American Indian students. So just thank you all for your support. And I don't think that I have anything else to add. I have a third grader at Valley View, and just very excited, very glad and excited that we have Val Larson as a support person in our school district. So thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you both. Appreciate that. Any questions? All right, great. Great. Well, thank you both. It sounds like a great time coming up at the Sugaring. I hope to get more information on that after that happens. Oh, excellent.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to item D, strategic direction D, securing and effectively managing our resources, human, financial, and physical. And we have Director Brian Hennekens.
Okay, thank you, Vice Chair Mueller, board members, and Superintendent Stenbeck. Give me 1 second to share this presentation out. Okay, yes, this evening I'm here to talk about strategic direction D and give you an update on where we're at with that. Again, our mission, creating Columbia Heights Public Schools, creating worlds of opportunity for each and every learner, all belong, all succeed. And our core values, community, excellence, collaboration, integrity, respect, courage, and innovation. So as we talk about strategic direction D in our finances and how we're financed, we really cover all of our core values. This is just an informational update, no governance. So I just start, you see the strategic roadmap from it's approved for 2019 through 2024. And again, we're focusing on strategic direction D, securing and effectively managing our resources, human resources, financial and physical. So again, this was a process of input from the community. And for our direction, our baseline year that we worked from was the 2019-2020 school year was our baseline year. And you can see the first couple items in our strategic direction really fit with that timeline of that base year in the bond referendum. So those bond projects, they're part of our strategic direction D. We have completed those. They were completed at different times, but we completed them on time within budget. There are some, punch list items did continue on. There were some things that came up, particularly at the high school when we added the band room on, where we had to do some additional firewall project that is being funded through this project still. So there's still some dollars being spent from that. But we did substantially complete the project as was scoped in the project. So we're still at a vision for that. So then getting into the other items, fund balance, of course, we have lots of conversation about fund balance. That's 6 to 12%. We are in that 6 to 12%. So we were excited to come in with a flat fund balance change from in last year and sticking at that 8.2%. So staying right within that vision. And we'll look to continue to do that this year. We're working on that revised budget now. So annual variation from established budgets. So on this one, you see 2 check marks. One's more gray, one's darker, and that's just an indicated change. So if there was no change from last year, it's just a black check mark. If there was a change from last year, you'll see the gray is last year, and the dark one is this year. So our variation this year was much better. So I'm definitely excited for that. As we revised the budget, we were able to get within that 3% variation overall for the district. Budget alignment, and that's looking at specific items as they apply directly to the classroom. So we're looking at certain series of UFARs, and that's expenditures that are more directly tied to the classroom. And we are at over 65%, so we're right at that 70% range. So very happy to continue to be at that range. We've been at that range for many years now, so it's definitely a goal to keep those costs directly tied to the classroom as much as possible. Quality of facilities and grounds through the climate survey. It's gray just from the standpoint of, I should have put a different color. But last year we did our climate survey, and of course we were distance learning. So this was just really about, so the question in that climate survey was more around about our virtual environment and how they felt we were doing in our virtual environment. And so I included it on there because it was positive. It was, over 65% of our students and families and staff felt like our virtual environment was a quality environment. So I included it because I felt like it was still a relevant talking point, even though that it wasn't directly related to our physical as it has been in the past. Operating levy in comparison to similar metro districts. This one actually did go down. I didn't include the grade check mark. Sorry about that. It's an intervention. Over time, it was at the lowest half of similar districts. Now we're at the lowest quartile. I mean, other districts that we do compare to have increased their levy over the last years. I think in the metro area, there is only one district that's lower than us right now. So we're definitely in that lowest quartile for that operating levy. And then community satisfaction with district financial decisions. We're in that progressing section, and we have been right along the way. I just want to make a note that we did not survey the community of this in the previous year. This was from a survey 2 years ago. So we are working on a community survey, and that will go out. This will be on that. And so we can continue with that, see how the community feels their satisfaction is with our financial decisions. So that is just another note that is, it's dated data because we did not ask a survey like this last year. We put a lot of different surveys out in the last 2 years, but they were focused on other things. So then the overall score is just a match. There was an increase in one and a decrease in another, but in reality, it leveled us. So we're still at the level 5 for the strategic direction. We continue to stay in that fund balance of 6 to 12%, and we continue to do well in those other areas. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Any questions? All right,
Great.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to our action items, and we have, first one up is our science curriculum, and we've got Director Tara Tuckrell and Carrie Turninen, our secondary teaching and learning coordinator.
Good evening, Vice Chair Mueller, Superintendent Stenvick, and board members. I'm here tonight with our secondary teaching and learning coordinator, Carrie, who is working on her principal's license. So I'm actually handing it over to her, who's going to lead us through the action item.
Good evening, Vice Chair Mueller, members of the board, and Superintendent Stenvick. The board was presented with information on the new Minnesota science standards at the January 25th, 2022 meeting. With the change of the standards, 6th grade will change their focus to earth science. The district is recommending the adoption of Amplify Science to support the shift in standards as 6th grade. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Any questions on the science curriculum? As she stated, this was something that was presented previously at our one of our board meetings.
We have to do a motion first before discussion.
Oh, you're right. Well, I guess questions, yes, but good call. Let's go ahead and get a motion to move this forward. Can I get a motion to approve the science curriculum as presented?
So moved.
Molly?
Second.
Laura? All right, it's been motioned by Molly and seconded by Laura. Any discussion? All right, hearing no discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we've got our item of meeting dates and times, and we have our election clerk, Don Hoyam, to present to us on that.
Good evening, Vice Chair Mueller, members of the board, Superintendent Stenvick. I'm here today just to change 2 calendar dates we have. We have both the primary election and the election dates as meeting dates, and we need to change those to a different date. So we are suggesting we move them to the Wednesday after those days.
Thank you. Can we get a motion to move the item forward to change the board meeting from August 9th to August 10th and from November 8th to November 9th?
So moved.
Mary
Second.
and Brenna. Motion was made by Mary and seconded by Brenna to move 2 calendar dates as noted. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? That motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dawn. Next, we have the policy second reading, and I will share that information. These policies are for the second reading for approval. 102, equal education opportunity. 406, public and private personnel data. 413, harassment and violence. 425, staff development. 507, corporal punishment. 515, protection and privacy of public records. 524, technology and internet acceptable use and safety policy. Any questions, or I guess we make a motion to approve those too? Can I get a motion to approve those policies?
Question. I'm actually noticing it said these policies appeared on the February 25th, 2022 meeting for first reading.
Yep, so it'd be that would be, yep, the policy appeared on the January 25th,
Okay,
2022
yeah,
meeting.
just a-
Yep,
Okay.
thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the policies?
So moved.
Molly? A
Second.
Laura? All right, it's been motioned by Molly and seconded by Laura to approve these policies. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, we will vote. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? And motion carries. Any board topics?
Just one.
Yes, Laura.
And in our last update, there are a list of dates for site visits to Kerner Plu, Pancalo, Career and Tech. I believe that one actually, we just missed that one. But if you are interested in being able to take part in those tours, you can't come through me. I believe you have to get a hold of Zena, or you can contact Val Raybo over at 916. There's information in there on how to do that. I highly recommend that you see the experiences that our partnership is being able to give to our students, and the facilities are absolutely amazing. I mean, it's wonderful what we're actually able to provide the students with these high needs, and just give them a great environment and a community to be proud of. So I really highly recommend that take a chance and go out and see some of these programs.
Great, thank you. Any other board topics? All right, well, hearing none, we will adjourn the meeting at 7:38.